The motor pool at Kasserine Pass looked like a graveyard in December 1942. Twisted Shermans sitting abandoned, their crews buried nearby. As Staff Sergeant William Brophy walked past carrying a strange 5-foot steel tube, weighing only 13 pounds, that men laughed at and called the Bazooka, a name borrowed from a comedian's musical contraption. No one took it seriously, officers raised eyebrows, and veteran tankers shook their heads, yet Brophy had studied the manual cover to cover and understood that this awkward tube represented a revolution. For the first time, a single infantryman could threaten a tank without artillery or heavy anti-tank guns. The principle was elegant: a shaped charge warhead focused explosive energy into a hyperheated jet capable of punching through armor. Physics that defied intuition and turned metal into liquid under extreme pressure. But reality in the North African desert was brutal, with German panzers dominating and American forces still learning, facing anti-tank rifles that barely scratched armor and cumbersome heavier guns that required 6 men to transport. Brophy's demonstration on a destroyed Italian tank stunned everyone. A rocket launched from the Bazooka tore through the turret, molten metal spraying inside, and officers who had dismissed the weapon requisitioned more immediately. The Bazooka's origins lay at Aberdeen Proving Ground, where Lieutenant Edward Uhl, Captain Leslie Skinner, and Swiss engineer Henry Mohop combined the principles of shaped charges with a man-portable rocket, creating a weapon simple enough to mass-produce yet lethal against armored vehicles. By summer 1942, iterative testing refined accuracy, stabilized flight, and controlled backblast, while the whimsical name, borrowed from Skinner's musical instrument, stuck and became official shorthand. By Normandy in June 1944, that $18 tube of steel would face its ultimate test in the Bocage, the dense hedgerow country of France, where Staff Sergeant Robert Lafontaine and his 9-man squad, reduced by casualties from 140 to fewer than 70, spotted 5 German Tiger tanks advancing through narrow fields of vision, diesel engines grinding, treads clattering, a terror that had forced Sherman crews into suicidal attacks. With only 2 bazookas and 16 rockets, Lafontaine's squad became the thin line between the Tigers and annihilation. Careful positioning, training, and knowledge of the Tigers' weak points allowed Corporal Danvers and Private Foster to fire first at 130 yards, the rockets streaking through the hedger, striking side armor and turret junctions, creating molten metal jets that burned and killed inside, igniting fuel and ammunition, forcing crews to bail out, leaving to Tigers burning, 2 more disabled or retreating, all within 7 minutes. The remaining bazooka teams, Torres and Hammond, repositioned and struck again, destroying a 3rd Tiger and disabling a 4th, while the 5th withdrew, and Lafontaine's squad survived to document empirical evidence of bazooka effectiveness against what had been considered invincible armor. The aftermath reshaped infantry doctrine overnight. Bazookas were redistributed in unprecedented numbers. Anti-tank teams prioritized, training expanded, and the psychological effect was immense, proving that infantry armed with portable firepower could confront tanks without awaiting artillery or air support. This principle carried forward to Korea and Vietnam, evolving into disposable single-shot launchers like the M70 Tula, maintaining the original concept of giving the individual soldier lethal capability against armored threats and fortified positions. And even 80 years later, the bazooka's legacy persists in modern infantry anti-tank weapons. The June 17, 1944 engagement wasn't just about killing Tigers. It validated a broader truth: ingenuity, physics, and courage can overturn assumed superiority, turning ridicule into respect, and a 13-pound steel tube into a symbol of tactical revolution, proving that underdogs armed with understanding, precision, and boldness could take down giants, forever changing the way infantry fights mechanized armor.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.